Hi everyone, I'm Miss Constantine. I teach 8th grade social studies in the Imagine community right there. What? So like you've seen from our other videos, all of the 8th grade social studies teachers are kind of sharing the responsibility of making videos for these online lessons, for your virtual lessons. So my part in this for today's lesson for Wednesday, you should have just completed the keynote presentation on geographic features. So the different geographic features that we see all over the world, Gulf, Bay, Plains, those things, that should be completed, and you should have your handy dandy geography note catcher filled out that you completed as you listened to Mr. Giblin explain the different geographic features we see on our wonderful Earth. So our next step now is we're going to make geography flashcards, or we're going to make actually vocabulary flashcards. And this is how we make vocabulary flashcards for the rest of the year. Like, this is kind of the expectation of what our flashcards look like. And I love flashcards. Flashcards are a very helpful study tool. So there's kind of a madness to the method. We have a reason that we really push using flashcards to learn new vocabulary terms. It's because it's a study skill that you can really use in any class. It's super helpful to create flashcards when you're learning new words. It helps a lot if you take a foreign language, whether it's taking Spanish here at the middle school or taking a foreign language over at the high school. Super helpful to make flashcards for any words that you're trying to learn. They're a great practice tool. They're a great tool to review with a partner or review independently. So that's enough talking about flashcards. I'm going to show you kind of the expectation we have for what your flashcards will look like. So I'm going to take my index cards like this. Now my index cards have lines on the back. Not all index cards do. Some are blank on both sides, but the ones I have right now have lines on the back. So what we're going to do is we are going to take one index card, and the blank side is the front. The front is blank. The blank side is the front is blank. And I say that because every year I have kids who flip it around. Front side is the blank side. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a flashcard using our geography review notes, and we're going to pick the word mountain. We're going to make one for the word mountain. So the first thing I'm going to do is write the vocabulary word at the top. Mountain. Right there. So I have the vocabulary word at the top, and then notice how I left a lot of blank space at the bottom? That's because in that blank space at the bottom, I'm going to draw a picture representing the word mountain. So a picture to remind me of what a mountain is. A mountain's an easy one to pick, and I did it on purpose, but we always put the vocab word at the top and leave a blank space at the bottom to draw a picture to help us remember the definition of the word we're trying to learn. So my word mountain is at the top. I got some beautiful colored pencils right here. I'm going to draw a picture of a mountain to help me remember what a mountain is. Now, don't judge me too much because I am a social studies teacher. I am not an art teacher, and there's a good reason for that. So I find though that the prettier my flashcards are, like if I use colorful pens or markers or color them with colored pencils or any of that, the prettier they are, the more likely I am to use them to study. So here are my mountains, and I'm coloring them. Over the summer, I got to do a road trip to Colorado, and I saw the Rocky Mountains in Colorado for the very first time. So I'm kind of drawing them like some of the mountains that I hiked up in Colorado back in June. So here's the front of my flashcard. Notice I have the word at the top and the picture at the bottom representing the vocab. Now, the back. My card has lines. It's totally okay if your cards don't. They don't have to have lines. But if you do happen to have a blank side and a line side, the blank side's for the front. You write the word and draw the picture, and then you put the definition on the back, the definition. So I'm going to write the definition for mountain here on the back, and the definition, again, using my geography review notes, the definition is land with steep sides rising sharply 1,000 feet or more above the surrounding land. So there's my definition right there on the back. Wait, which was my camera? Definition. And then the final thing is an example. So this is where I will put an example of this geographic feature, like one that actually exists. And I just told you a story of my life that I went to the Rocky Mountains for the first time in June back in Colorado. So I'm going to use my example and put Rocky Mountains. And that's my example right there, front and back. So the purpose of making a flashcard is it's a study tool. It's a way for you to learn your vocab words, but it's also a way for you to review them constantly because you have a quiz when you return to school. If you're a blue group kid, you have a quiz on Thursday. If you're a gold group kid, you have a quiz on Friday. So you need to be practicing these words, the 8 words that we have picked, the 8 words in the flashcard assignment. You don't need to do them for all of these. This is a lot of words. We just picked out the 8 that we feel are the most important for you to know geographic feature-wise as we move through U.S. history from the very, very start of our country all the way through the Civil War. So there's only going to be 8 terms that you need to know. Don't do one for all of these. That would be crazy and lots of work, and you don't want to do that. So how do we study with these? Okay, great. So you can study independently. So if I'm like, practicing my words, what am I doing here? Oh, here's the word mountain. Oh, this picture right here. This mountain's got a picture. Let's see. It's like, oh, I remember what a mountain is because the picture helps me remember. It's when the land rises sharply from the ground, and it has to be at least 1,000 feet or more in height. That's what a mountain is. So I look at the vocab word in the picture, and then I flip it over, and I grade myself. I see if this is the definition, is the one I said to myself, the actual one, and it is, and so then I make a pile of words I got right. And I would keep going, and let's say I missed the next one, I'd make a wrong pile, and when I get done going through my flashcards, what should I do? I'm going to pick up the words I got wrong, and I'm going to practice them again until I get to put them in my right pile. So flashcards are super, super helpful to make. They're really easy. Index cards are very inexpensive. You should have 20 index cards in your social studies folder that we sent home at the beginning of the school year. So you should have plenty of index cards to do those. We will have another vocab lesson later on in the month of August, so please don't waste your cards, but you should have enough to do this one and the vocab lesson later in the month and still have a couple extra in case you make a mistake or something like that. Final thing, once you've completed all 8, count them 8, only 8, just do 8 of the words that we have picked out that are listed in the flashcard assignment, you're going to have to submit a picture of them. So you're going to lay the 8 out on the table. You're going to take a picture of all the fronts, flip them over, take a picture of all the backs, and then your teachers, whoever your teacher may be, will grade those. So we will go through and make sure that you have all 4 parts. The 4 parts again are the vocab word at the top with the picture underneath. On the back, you have the definition that I got from my geography notes, and you have an example. My example is the Rocky Mountains. If you have any questions about how to make the flashcards, flashcard expectations, please message your teacher. If you've lost your index cards, please message your teacher and see if there's something you can substitute in, maybe Post-its or just cutting up notebook paper or something. But hopefully you were a good little noodle and you kept track of your social days folders that we made for you and sent home so you can create your atlases, have your notes, everything, so you're still learning whether you're in the classroom with us or not. Thanks for watching our video. Again, any questions, message your teachers on Canvas. Let them know what you're struggling with. We're here to help. We want to help. And we will see you guys when you return to the classroom. Make sure you study your flashcards, your continents and oceans, and your Western Europe map, because you will have a quiz when you return to class over continents and oceans, the 8 vocabulary words, and Western Europe, the countries of Western Europe, all 15 that we listed. That's all. Bye!